Number 3, sitting correctly in the meditational posture and then taking refuge in developing the body-mind. That's the third preliminary. The fourth preliminary is generating the visualization of the merit field. Not only the Buddha you have in front of you, but to generate the whole merit field of the complete field of Buddhas. To train your mind, to train it in meditation, train it in concentration, and to expand the mind, and to hold the focus. Because that is a type of shamatha meditation in the northern schools. In the southern schools of shamatha meditation, or vipassana, they focus upon the breath. But you see, in the northern schools, breath is wonderful, but it's more beneficial if you focus your concentration on a Buddha or many Buddhas. Why? There's double benefit. One is vipassana, you create awareness, but the breath itself has no benefit. None. You just develop awareness. Whereas in the northern schools, when you meditate and you develop concentration and awareness by a Buddha, like a yidam, if you meditate on Vajrayogini and you hold that, as opposed to holding your breath, focusing on that. If you can focus going in and out of your breath 1-2 hours, is pretty good. But if you can focus 1 or 2 hours a day on Vajrayogini or Buddha Shakyamuni or Tsongkhapa, much greater. Why? The object itself is enlightened being. So meditating and contemplating on it create waves and waves of powerful imprints to become connected and one with that deity. At the same time, to be able to focus on that deity simultaneously also creates the weapon or the tool you need, which is awareness, toward destroying self-negative habits. We have many negative habits that we just can't help. We keep doing. We can't hold our bodies up well. We can't stay away. We don't know how we talk. We're messy. We're rude. We forget things. We have a lot of negative habits. A lot. And then people tell us and remind us and have to tell us again and again and again. It's like talking to a spoiled child for the rest of their lives. And these people who are unaware, uncouth, unkept, and irresponsible always forget they are a disaster for people around them. Why? Everybody has to cover for them all the time. So the direct opponent to this type of behavior is awareness. Awareness. Awareness arises from making our mind focus on an object uninterruptedly, consistently over and over. And that meditation will grow. When you are able to focus on that object without moving your mind, but you're not on some weird, cloud 9 kind of meditation. You're actually totally aware. When you're aware, your ears become very sharp. Your eyes become sharp. Your senses, your feeling, your gut feelings, everything, you become very sharp and very sensitive. Contrary to what people believe that when you go into meditation, you go in some blissful state and you don't see or hear anything around you because you're deep in meditation. That is BS. People who are in deep meditation are in fact very attuned to everything around them. And some people can be in meditation, even moving and talking. Their senses are extremely alert and quick. Almost clairvoyant or prophetic. That's how sharp their senses are. Why? From the development of meditation. Meditation upon what? Focusing and placement of the mind upon one object and staying there. Why? You think about how you can focus your mind on one object and stay there. How we think about what we're going to eat, where we can go, what we're going to do, who did this, what said what. And then our mind, some of us get tired, we fall asleep. Not able to control our mind is reflected by not being able to control our body and our speech. If we keep forgetting things, if we keep not grooming or not cleaning, if we keep knocking things over and we're uncouth and we're not aware of the impact we have on other people with our behavior, that arises from lack of awareness. Lack of awareness. And then if we're told, and then we remember, and then we forget again the next day, and we forget next day. We keep forgetting. That is, we're aware one day, but it's not total awareness. It's not pure awareness. So if we do this awareness type of meditation daily, what will happen is this. Your senses will become very sharp and very quick and very fast. And you'll be able to use that onto yourself to see what creates unhappiness within you in relations to others. So those people who are very unaware and unalert, they're usually people who can't focus their mind. Now, if you say everybody's like that, no. We all have the power to focus our mind. Why? We all have our interests. And when our interest sparks us, we can focus on it for hours. No problem at all. No problem. No problem. For some people, it's money, talking about money. Oh, they're very focused. They can plan, premeditate, and see how and what and all that. They're very good. For some people, it's music and fashion. You talk about that, they're very focused. They can be on the other side of the room, they hear everything you say. So we do have focus. It's Not focusing on what we should focus on is another part of awareness. It's kind of like self-deception. If we say we don't have focus and we can't focus, that's not correct. Because then none of you can drive. None of you can eat. None of you can do anything that takes you more than a few seconds of concentration. If you check within yourselves and you have focus and you can concentrate on a few things, but other things you cannot, it means that it's not that you don't have awareness. You're not aware of what you should be aware of. So you should shift your awareness over. And how you do that is when you do placement meditation every single day, whether it's in the southern schools of Buddhism, such as breath, or the northern schools, which is the Yidam practices. Wow. The meditation of the Yidam practices, where by meditating upon the Yidams combined with mantra and visualization and motivation, not only do you create awareness, you gain attainments. Actual attainments. Directly from the deities. So it's a double benefit. So let's say that if we're very fortunate that our Lama has told us, oh, your Yidam is Lama Tsongkhapa. Oh, your Yidam is Tara. And you are committed and you receive instructions and you do the practice. There's double benefit. You gain attainments and at the same time awareness. And the sign of awareness is this, is you forget less and you become more responsible. And you're able to take on more responsibility and burden and shoulder more, as if last year, if you can only take care of one person yourself, this year you can take care of 5. Next year you can take care of 10, 20, 30. And the effort put into taking care of 30 as opposed to 1 becomes the same for you. Why? That's a sign of your awareness growing. Those who are not aware cannot take care. Why? They're focusing on themselves. Lack of awareness is our main demon, is our main devil in our minds. It is the one that creates unhappiness in all of us in any situation. And whether you're Buddhist or not, or whether you believe in Buddha or not, forget it. Having awareness itself is a very powerful tool for anything we want to do in our lives. If we want to check what makes us unhappy, we need awareness. If we want to check what's wrong with us and how we want to transform and change, we need awareness. If we don't get along with people, we're unhappy, we need awareness. If we're attached, we need awareness. Awareness is a very powerful tool to remove attachment. Some people have a relationship with someone, they break up, they cannot let go, they're still with that mind, and they can't be happy. Awareness is very powerful with that. Learning things awareness. And controlling your body functions, sleepy or not sleepy, pushing yourself, pain or no pain, comes from awareness. And even remembering minute details of things that happened many years ago arise from awareness. And remembering your previous lives derives from awareness. Everything is awareness. So highly attained meditation people, the first sign of them is that their eyes are sharp. Their senses are very quick. You never see a dull. Do you ever see a dumb lama? You ever see a female lama nun? You ever see any dumb lamas? Oh, that guy's dumb and unaware. You drop this, the lama doesn't see, doesn't hear, doesn't know, like, duh. Or certain things you talk about, the lama's aware. Certain things you talk about, the lama's like, you ever see like that? You ever see a dumb, unaware lama? If you see a meditation master, lama doesn't just mean Tibet, okay? No, we cannot be so biased. And I don't mean meditation master, just monk and nun. Can be any of you, anyone. Anyone who's accomplished a meditation of awareness in some ability, capacity, the sign is they're aware. They're quick. And anything around them, they don't damage or destroy. They're very quick and very fast. It's a natural side benefit. And the next step for them, you'll see, is that they're in personal negative habits that are disturbing to others will dissipate. Why? They'll start remembering what they should do. They'll be aware that what it does to other people when they act this way or talk this way or live this way or do this way out of habituation. They'll become aware and they'll start cutting it off. Why? How do you find the methods to cut off? You need to be aware. You need to know what's wrong first. And you need to have a constant vigilance equated to awareness. And then even deeper, with awareness, you'll be able to start destroying these more subtle imprints of your mind. What kind of imprints in your mind? What kind? The feeling sorry of yourself. The fear of failing. Not being able to accomplish. Not wanting to push yourself more. Pushing responsibilities onto others. Forgetfulness, consistently forgetting. Your favorite word is I forgot. It sounds funny, but it's a very, very clear sign of a deep disturbance. Very deep disturbance. And you will start seeing that in your mind. You're able to deal and see through things precisely and quickly. Some people say, oh wow, that Lama is so logical and quick. What Lama did you see is not logical and quick? All Lamas are logical and quick, accomplished. They're very fast. They can calculate things very fast. Why? From awareness meditation. Awareness. They may play with you and joke with you and jest with you and ask you what you think and ask you this and that. It's just to gauge your mind. You don't need clairvoyance. You just have a very quick, sharp mind. So that you can look at a person, how they dress, how they move, how they act, how they drive, very clearly, and how they talk. You can see clearly their awareness. Clearly. Why? If they talk in such a way that's clear and focused, and they know how to raise their voice to you, or use this word, or use this pronunciation to help you, it's a sign of clarity and awareness. Why? They care that enough, they care that much and have that much compassion to speak well to you so they can give you knowledge. Most important is, there's a Buddha for that, the Buddha of speech, Manjushri. It's so important. So people who have bad speech, people who have speech that misleads or doesn't make their speech better, then your Dharma practice is not bringing results. Why? Then you're just doing mechanical Dharma practice, just the action, but not the real Dharma. The real Dharma is the mind. And one way to check awareness meditation is people's speech. How clear they speak, how they improve on speaking, how they control their speech, how they talk. Very, very clear. Not everybody will turn out to be eloquent orators or great teachers, great, professors, but your speech will definitely increase and become better. Why? Out of compassion. Your mind will become alert. And the things you need to do, instead of being reminded, you will start seeing yourself reminding other people nicely. And the habits you need to change will change. Those who have nasty, unpleasant habits that disturb people around them, whether it's purpose or not purpose, it's tantamount to being purposely doing to other people. Why? You can put a solution in, which is awareness. So when you meditate every day on Lama Tsongkhapa, let's say you do the Guru Yoga of Lama Tsongkhapa, you meditate the steps and stages of the 7 limbs of Lama Tsongkhapa. The first one when he appears, the second one when you make offerings, etc., etc., etc. To focus and do that, that's awareness meditation, using a deity. Even more powerful than the breath. Even more superior than the breath. Why? Double benefit. Double benefit. Of course, there's more benefit if you meditate on the Buddha. So when we do this type of awareness meditation, it will pervade everything in our life. And even if you're not interested in Dharma and you don't care about karma, never mind. Awareness meditation still makes you a better person, makes you a better businessman, makes you a better friend, a better lover, a better husband, better wife, whatever. Why? Your focus of awareness grows. So whoever you live with, you are quick, you are careful, you are fast, and you can take care. You can bear responsibilities. If you don't practice awareness, you're an extremely selfish person. If you always make people repeat what, they don't understand you and confuse them, you're very selfish. Then if you do prostrations and mantras and mandala offerings, and you do meditation retreats, what's the point? The object of compassion you can do directly. By changing your speech immediately, by focusing and everything, think, talk. And then when you do that, that's compassion. Don't talk about meditating on Kuan Yin, Om Mani Padme Hum, doing retreat. You can directly enact compassion with the people right there. People look for very secret meditations, very secret tantric empowerments, secret rituals and secret mantras to transform the wrongs in their body when the answers are right in front of them. So for people who have bad speech, unclear speech, uncouth speech, all types of speech that is not pleasant to people, then they push themselves to have better speech. And they make themselves have better speech. And they focus their mind on what they say. That creates awareness. Never mind Dharma. That itself benefits people around you. Around you. Then if you have negative habits, then you start focusing on one habit at a time and change it. Not year after year after year. You're the same slob. Same. Then what is your practice? Then you want to teach people Dharma? You want people to come into Dharma? You want to explain Dharma? They're going to, please go take a shower first. What's the point if you're smelly, dirty, unkept, your hair looks like you've been through a typhoon? All right, and what's the point? If you're unkept, whatever you engage in, you cannot finish, you don't get results. And then you want to teach people Dharma, and you want to bring people to the Dharma, and you want to benefit all sentient beings, and you want to make a tanka of yourself like this? Why? If you yourself is undisciplined, if you yourself don't improve, if you yourself actions and behavior is consistently same or degenerating, and then you compassionately want to help people to Dharma, you will not have effects even if your generation of compassion is genuine. Why? You have to back it up with practice. And that all arises from awareness. So how many people we can bring into the Dharma, how many people we can influence in the Dharma, arises from how much compassion and awareness we have. How much we can influence others through positive actions, not negative, is how much compassion and awareness we have. Why? If you're the most ugly and evil person in the world, you have the worst speech, maybe you're dirty or negative or whatever, and if you transform yourself through the practice of awareness and you start changing, you will inspire many people. If you're born perfect, you live perfect, you die perfect, whatever. It doesn't affect people like us because we're not, and it's too far away for us. But if you're someone nasty and evil and stupid and anorexic, or you're bulimic, or you have all kinds of hang-ups, you're afraid of transportation, you're afraid to drive, you're afraid of green clothes, you're afraid of whatever. And then you start improving without even opening your mouth. People around you say, "What happened? What are you doing?" "Oh, well, I'm doing this meditation." "Oh, can you tell me about it?" Immediately. If you're not kind and if you're not kind and you're miserly, how do you expect other people to donate to you? How do you expect your center to grow or your practice to grow when you yourself want donations and want help, but you don't want to donate and help? How? Then people look at you and say, look at Mr. or Mrs. Miserly, look at Mr. and Mrs. Greedy or whatever, or look at Sir Greedy, the Tan Sri Greedy. What's the point? Who wants to donate to greedy? But if you see someone giving and generous all the time and they ask you for donation, you give it immediately. Why? You know their motivation. So what happens is if you yourself are messy and uncouth, you don't study, you don't meditate, you don't know anything, it's been year after year, and then even if you know things, you can loquaciously explain the Dharma to people, of course over some Baku day, but you yourself don't have any results of that, year after year after year. Who can you bring onto the Dharma? How do you benefit the growth of Dharma in yourself and others? How do you benefit your Lama? In fact, these type of people, they create the causes to have conflict with their Lama. Total conflict. It says here very clearly by His Holiness the 13th Dalai Lama. I recommend this book for you guys. It's wonderful. It says here by the 13th Dalai Lama during his Molam teachings, however, when one's attitude and behavior are undisciplined and inappropriate, mere association with the Guru will be of no avail. That means being near a Guru, serving a Guru, being on the entourage is no avail. The example is given of a bee and a frog. Both live at the side of the lake in a garden of lotus flowers. But only the bee daily drinks the honey of the lotus. The frog gets no benefit whatsoever from the lotus nectar. In the same way, only the person with the correct attitude and disciplined behavior will be able to extract the benefits of contact with their Guru. So if you're uncouth, you're undisciplined, you're not aware, you can be near a living Buddha. You will be a demon. Why? You can't, like the frog and the bee, you cannot extract the nectar. So just being near a holy Guru doesn't validate who you are and what you're doing and doesn't make you holy. Stupid people might believe you're something because you're near a Guru or whatever, or you're attendant or close. No. They look at your behavior. So similarly, it says here, moreover, His Holiness says, there are some types of people whose minds are so distorted that contact with the Guru just increases their accumulation of negative karma. Because of their own mental shortcomings, they just impute faults upon the Guru and see the holy as unholy. They are like owls for whom sunlight, an element that normally is only beneficial, causes eye problems. Because of their mental obscuration, a positive circumstance is twisted into something negative and only further compounds their confusion. So, with practice of awareness, even if we want to go to higher practices, if we're near our Guru, we're near enlightened being, we're near these holy beings, doesn't mean anything if we don't have disciplined behavior and we have the correct attitude. So if we have the wrong attitude, we'll always see something wrong with the teacher. Wrong attitude, all the time. All the time. Even if the teacher has a few wrong behavior that you feel is not right and has a few good ones, even the good ones you cannot get. You cannot get. Definitely cannot get. So what happens is these type of people who have the wrong twisted attitude, when they live or be under the care of a Guru, they collect even more negative karma. Why? If they're lazy, they leave it to the other students to cover for them. If they're greedy, they will use up the Lama's wealth, pay things for themselves, pay off their responsibilities. They don't want to transform themselves, therefore they cannot do better in a job, therefore they need to use the money of the Lama to cover for them. Very simple. So in fact, They take the Sangha's money to cover for their irresponsibilities. They collect even more negative karma by being near a guru. They think, oh, now I have an easy life. Wrong. So these type of people, very, very and some of these type of people, they go near the gurus, and they take money from them, or they take resources or people, whatever, and they use it. They don't return, they don't explain, they don't do anything. And they think the Lama is stupid. But they themselves, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Why? These type of people don't look at the Lama as the Dharma teacher to give us the Dharma to enlightenment. They look at them as a business opportunity. Or they look at them as some opportunity to swindle or swipe some money. Or they look at the Lama as someone who can cover them for their irresponsibilities. Or they look at them as some friend or just some companion, where from this person you can get much more knowledge and information and divine Buddhahood. So from a divine being with divine knowledge, you become a demon. So being near a holy Lama doesn't mean you're going the right way or you're good. Because you have to have the right discipline and the right attitude. And that all arises again from behavior. And that's why there's Tibetan etiquettes on how you serve the Lama. When the Lama comes in, what you do, how you stand up, how you give him food, how you give him clothes. When he travels, how you make his arrangements. You don't make him your travel agent. But you make sure everything is perfect for him. That he doesn't have to lift any finger and there's no discomfort. That you see everything for the trip for him is perfect. Why? It is awareness practice. And if you've not been treating your guru like that and your guru is compassionate, not to allow that to happen anymore, he doesn't let your practice degrade. So even when I did that for Tsem Rinpoche when I traveled, I make sure everything was perfect. From carrying his bags, fixing his bed on the train, putting him asleep, waking up all times of the night to make sure he's all right, to check the temperature, and whether it was cold or hot, and put the blanket or take the blanket off on him, to make sure he took his diabetic medicines every 6 hours. I did that for years for Tsem Rinpoche, to be aware and alert to serve my Lama. Always nearby, to be deficient of sleep, to be deficient of my own personal comfort, to make sure my Lama's okay, because he propounds the Dharma to benefit many. I don't expect Tsem Rinpoche to do this. You get the ticket, you do this, you carry the bag, you don't know, you sit there, I don't know. Why would you travel with your guru if you want him as your personal tour guide? Why? In fact, the Lama shouldn't even say anything to you. You should have everything prepared perfectly. And if you can't, you collect even more negative karma. You let your awareness go down. And the Lama directly tells you that this is required, this is required, this is required, because you're ignorant, you don't know, and you still cannot comply, then the Lama will keep quiet. Why? If said too much, it looks like some kind of personal ego trip to be, entertained and taken care of, the best. If you make sure your Lama is comfortable, and the travel is convenient, and everything is done, and everything's made, and everything's perfect, it shows your awareness, your practice, your devotion, and how committed you are to spreading the Dharma. It's a reflection of you. If you sit there hoping to get a ticket out of your Lama, or he carries your bags for you, or you get the best. Everything's done for you. The ticket is handed to you by the Lama. You just stand there, and pretend you're royalty. Why is it in the Dharma room, you prostrate, he's your guru, oh mani padme, but outside, he's your slave, he's your servant, he's your cook, he's your cleaner, he's your advisor. You put him in a position, he has to shout at you and tell you off. Why? Why is it in one situation, he's your porter? In another situation, he's your maid. In another situation, he's your guru. What do you want from your Lama? Do you want enlightenment, or do you want a valet? Some people even have the audacity to say, oh, you're too aware, you're too quick, and so none of us can catch up. Ridiculous! That is a lame excuse for not wanting to improve or improving by saying you're too quick for us. Lame. It is a direct cover of one's laziness to be aware and to move faster. Direct. So you can apply that to everything, anything. When you have this awareness meditation, you can serve your Lama if you have received Tantra and receive the benefits. You can maintain a Dharma center. You can do the offerings perfectly, clean and well, and you derive the benefits. You can maintain your house, and the people around you, you will be able to bring them joy and happiness. And you'll be able to cut down your negativities and your lack of awareness, your uncouth behavior, your weird speech, your unfocused mind, your unclear speech. All that can be transformed. And your difficulty in getting close to people. Some people move from job to job, move from house to house, country to country. I met them many times, many people. It's an escape from not going all the way close with someone because they know how they are. They know their behavior, so they don't want to get close. They need to escape so that they don't have to face themselves and deal with it. It all comes from lack of awareness. How far and how long can we run? How far? And if we look at someone near the Lama, and the person is rude to the Lama, talks rude, behaves rude, acts rude, and shows anger to the Lama. And more worse, in front of other people, they show that. It is total reflection of their mind. And they tell people and justify, I'm angry, I've been done wrong. But in actuality, it shows clearly how they use the Lama and what they expect to be given by the Lama is not a spiritual practice. They want something physical. They want comfort, they want money, they want something free, they want to be taken care of. They want to have no burdens. So people who actually are angry at the Lama, demand or want or show their anger in front of other people, is a clear sign that their relationship with their Lama from their side is not spiritual. It is give me something. Recognition, respect, money, comfort, whatever. They want something from the Lama. Why? If it's spiritual, you will follow the spiritual rules of the 50 verses Guru devotion. You will never be rude and uncouth to your Lama. Never. And especially if you want to spread Dharma to other people. If you want to spread Dharma to other people, and you're rude to your Lama in front of other people, the message you're giving to them is, you can do that. So how do you spread the Dharma into their minds? In the beginning, they may agree with you and say, yeah, you've been done wrong, I agree with you. But as they learn the Dharma more and more, they understand the ethics and how we're supposed to behave, they're going to turn around and look at you and say, something's wrong. Why? Truth always prevails. How you treat your Lama, especially publicly, is a reflection of your spiritual practice and your awareness. How you act and sit and how you move your body in front of your Lama is how much you want to spread the Dharma to other beings. And respect. And your agenda is your agenda. And if you have the nerve to argue or present worldly agendas and proposals and money and deals and all these kind of things and sign this and sign that with your Lama, it shows that your agenda with your Lama is not Dharma, or the agenda you have is not Dharma. It is business. Very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. It's very clear. Who is low enough to use a Dharma institution to extract financial gains? Who is that low? Who can be that low in thinking? If you're that low that you can extract from a Dharma institution to gain financial gains, profits or whatever, if that's your sole aim, if you're really poor and you need to survive and the Dharma Center helps you with whatever, that's different. But when you can make elsewhere your own finances, and you take and you do, and you purposely, that's your goal. The important thing is motive, your goal. And you do that. It shows you what type of person you are. It means you have no respect for anyone, because the highest in this world is religious. Next is our parents. You have no respect. If you have no respect for anyone else, why would you expect to be happy and have other people respect you or trust you? And then why would you get angry when people don't trust you? Why? Why would you be angry when you have no respect for other people? Those are things not to criticize people. Those are ways to measure people's awareness and to make your mind aware. Very, very important. So when we practice the awareness meditation, it will be increased by making images of the Buddha, making offerings to the Buddha. Making offerings to the Buddha, making Buddha images, it will be much more increased, our awareness meditation. And this awareness meditation doesn't stop at you just being sharp and quick. It'll be used as a tool for meditation, gaining attainments. And when you gain those attainments that are irreversible, you will control your death. You will control your next life. And not only will you control your life and your next life and your death, you will also affect and effect the lives of people around you, to transform and affect their lives so they gain control over their future lives and their unhappiness and their suffering. That's what you will effect and affect around you if you have that type of mind. So in every single lifetime you return again and again and again. And your action is the same from the time you're a small child up to the time you grow up very big. Your actions will reflect your immense compassion for others developed from another time. And each lifetime it grows and becomes bigger, and it manifests differently. So in Tibet, maybe in a previous life, a manifestation of generosity was giving yaks to people. And then you're reincarnated in let's say, Japan. I don't think it act generous of giving a yak to a Japanese guy. Well, over there, maybe we give sushi, vegetarian sushi. So compassion is there, but the act will be different in each encounter. So the point is, it arises from the mind of awareness. If you have awareness, you will change your habits. If you want to have awareness and you want it to be a Dharma-motivated awareness that becomes a tool, a weapon to slice through the actions that make you unhappy with other people and the people around you unhappy, to stop it, then you need the collection of merits. So the collection of merits are varied and very, very incredibly diverse for different diverse minds. So making tankas, offering brocade, offering water, silver, offering black tea, cleaning the area, making images, making stupas, all of that becomes an act of great merit for a specific type of merit, a specific type of purification, where it will bring you back to your mind that when you engage in different types of meditation, such as awareness, results are much quicker. And the results you gain, listen carefully, the results that you gain with your subtle mind, because you have the Rakpa Sheba, the Tramaki Sheba. Rakpa Sheba means your gross mind. Tramaki Sheba means your subtle mind. All items gained by your gross mind is lost at death. And a small imprint of it may appear in your future lives. I'll explain. Tramaki Sheba means subtle mind. All attainments or transformations that arise from your subtle mind is not lost life after life. Example, magical abilities are associated from the rough minds. Clairvoyance of the eye, of the ear, those are associated with the eye and the ear. So therefore, you can use non-Buddhistic practices to gain clairvoyant powers or Bomo powers or whatever. But they are lost at the time of death because they're associated with a rough mind. So rough habits, such as maybe in a previous life you love eating pizza. That has something to do with your gross mind that is dissolved at the time of death. Why? The gross mind is something that connects with the subtle mind. The gross mind is something that interacts with the phenomena around you. The items around you, you interact with your gross mind, which sends a message to your subtle mind. But at the time of death, all the gross mind, which are living in the 5 senses, dissolve into the subtle mind. And the subtle mind dissolves into a more subtle mind, and that leaves your body, and you leave your body with that mind. So all the things that you put pleasure and effort towards the gross mind is lost at the time of death. If you're very good at weaving and cloth, that is something associated with a gross mind. When you die, it's wasted, it's gone. You can't take it with you. A smell of it might be there in your next life. If you have an onion or garlic in a porcelain cup, for a while, you remove it, no matter how much you wash it, there's some smell. So in the future life, maybe you have some indications toward, like weaving, you become a great fashion designer or something. Maybe, but that's not guaranteed. But that itself is not an action that guarantees you freedom. So if you're very good in accounting, if you're good in drawing, spelling, teaching, professor, art, music, if you're attached to dance, sound, if you're attached to books, libraries, all these things, and you develop a skill for yachting, for cruising, and you're very good at that, you waste your time if you focus all your time at that. I'll tell you why. Because those are actions associated with your gross mind. And when you die, the gross mind is dissolved. And the gross mind can only function in relations to a gross physical body. So if you develop qualities that arises from the subtle mind, such as generosity, compassion, ethics, wisdom, patience, awareness, if you develop that in your subtle mind, your gross mind will be automatically affected. Why? The gross mind arises from the subtle mind. So when you die, if you develop compassion, and it's this much to develop, look here please. If it's this much, and you've developed this much, you in your next life will continue from here. Why? This much is with your subtle mind. You're not using your gross mind for meditation. You're not using your gross mind for attainments. Example, when you have dreams, you don't use your eyes, ears, nose, taste to experience. But you feel, you see, you hear, you talk, but you're not using that. What are you using? That is your subtle mind. That proves to you that your mind can exist without this body. And you can feel sensations, fear, happiness, love, whatever, joy. Even someone stabs you, you can feel the pain as if it's real. In your dreams, why? That is your subtle mind in action. The subtle mind arises. The subtle mind arises during the last stage of sleep for a few hours, 1.5, 2 hours, just before dawn, the deepest part of the sleep. Meditators treasure that time because they use that for meditation to contact the subtle mind. Why? Contact what? To make the subtle mind more pronounced, to overcome their gross habits. During orgasm, when we have sexual intercourse, during orgasm, if we have orgasm or we have sexual intercourse only by desire, because people feel that sex is dirty. Sex is not intrinsically dirty. Sex is only dirty when your motivation is dirty. There have been great meditators in the past in Tibet who will have sexual union with someone. After that, that person will do Dharma practice. It is a way to bring the Dharma according to their level. There are people that they can have dinner with them because that's what they like. Afterwards, they do Dharma practice according to their needs. When you have orgasm, very quick glimpse of your subtle mind will appear, split second. And those who do tantric meditations will able to control their semen. Men and women, let me just say semen for convenience sake, will be able to control their semen when it's released, how long, and they will exercise it during sexual intercourse. Very strong, very powerful. So when they do that type of intercourse, it is not sex. It looks like it. It is practice of using your subtle winds and your drops and your energies in your body to control your body. Oh, there's those powerful practices. For what? Because when you can control your winds and you can control your sperm, these physical constituents in your body, if you can control, the bliss that you feel is 100 times greater than an orgasm. And you'll feel it consistently, constantly. And you'll always be happy. Your body will be very light. You control it. The type of orgasms that we seek is a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of BS, a lot of disappointment, a lot of anger, a lot of talking, a lot of mind games, and then more and more when you get it. It's very different. Very, very different. And at the time of death, your subtle mind arises. These are 3 times. Your subtle mind arises. And if you do the meditation such as Vajrayogini, example, during this life, you have to collect the merits to the preliminaries, and you do Vajrayogini's practice well. Those merits will propel you to be able to attain control over your subtle mind. And then you will be an accomplished Siddha. You'll control the weather. Deities will kowtow to you. Life after life, you return to benefit others spontaneously. Your motivations are consistent. Your compassion for others are consistent. And the effect you have in others' lives, the effect and effect will be totally positive, whether they feel it immediately or not. Definitely. And so when you do things like some people like to do, I don't know, they like to make ceramics or whatever. And they get very good at it. They spend hours, 10, 20 years, become a ceramics master, they get a certificate. When you die, it's gone. The skill is gone. You've wasted so much time developing a skill you can't take with you. But if you develop the qualities that go with your subtle mind, listen carefully. Every time you die, this subtle mind has to take rebirth again. And sometimes this subtle mind will take rebirth in formless realms where you don't have a physical body. It is just mind alone. Yet those qualities still be with you. You will still benefit people in those realms. Still benefit. Beings. So this subtle mind that travels you life after life, when you are incarnated into another body, this subtle mind takes over the body. So normal beings will see their father and mother copulating. They won't see the male and female. They will see either organ that they're attracted to. Either sex of the organ they'll be attracted. The minute they see that when they're wandering in Bardo, they'll be by desire, power, desire, they'll go to the sexual organ of the copulating couple. And they want to touch it and be with it, and they enter. They enter the womb by desire. When they enter the womb by desire, the physical constituents of the father and mother, 1 drop of blood, red, 1 drop of white sperm, combines, forms your body, your mind enters into that immediately. The mind has no size or shape. It can fit into something minute or as big as a mountain. It doesn't really matter. And then when that being develops, the gross mind starts to develop over the 9-month gestation period. The gross mind. Your eyes develop, your ears develop, your mouth, your body, your tactile feelings, everything develops. Then your gross mind starts to emerge in dependence of the gross physical body. Because the gross mind is associated with gross body. So the eye consciousness will immediately go to the eyes, nose, ear, mouth, etc., arising from the subtle consciousness. So if your subtle consciousness in your previous life was practicing compassion and love and effort, then in this life, your gross mind will immediately engage in that action again, even as a young child. And therefore, you have tukuls, highly evolved reincarnated beings, that even at a very young age, they start reciting. They start meditating. They can remember. They recognize Dharma. They like the lamas. They like the Buddhas. They're naturally attracted. Why? Because the minute their gross mind opens, their gross functions open, it will be a reflection of their subtle mind. So these attainments that you gain from Dharma practice, you never lose. Because they're associated with your subtle mind, and that's what your mind takes rebirth every single lifetime. So it will be more smart for us not to focus on pleasing our mouth, our ear, our nose, our tactile feeling, our comfort. It will be more valuable to please and to develop our subtle mind, which the gross mind arises. Why would you spend time on something you keep for a short time? Every life is something different. Then what happens if you're born deaf and dumb? Then all the time you spent in your previous life on sight and sound is wasted. You're born deaf and dumb. But the subtle mind is not wasted because it arises from that. And on top of that, when you develop the subtle mind, it affects your gross activity. When it affects your gross activity, karma is changed. From your gross mind, activities, negative or positive, arise. If your subtle mind is habituated toward negative habits, intoxicants, money, drugs, sex, fun, lying, cheating, tricking people, then your gross mind when you're born will be used to doing that. So if your previous life always irresponsible, this life, the minute you get your eyes, your body, you will come out, you're Mr. Irresponsibility again. And then you create more negative karma. If in your previous life you practiced the meditation of awareness, and you cut this out, and you're aware, every single life when you come back, whether you're a small little kid or you're a grown adult, you will have that kind of awareness. Life after life. And each life, it becomes better and better and better. And your actions will also reflect your subtle mind. Why? What you think deep down inside will be reflected on the outside. On the outside, your actions. So it would be more smarter to engage in the practices of the 6 paramitas, deity yoga, guru devotion, preliminary practices, generosity, creating statues, helping people to get Dharma, being kind, being aware. Why? Those qualities, when you develop, although every lifetime, it will manifest differently, but the motivation is the same. It arises from your subtle mind. So most of us waste our time developing the gross mind. We don't even look at the subtle mind. And therefore, we waste our life. If you're the greatest artist, ballerina, dancer in the world, who cares at the time of death? Who cares? You still go to death with hatred, ignorance, desire, lust. In your next life, you can be a pig. You can be another ballerina. You can be a housewife. You can be a husband. You can be a driver. You can be in the God realms. You can go born as a snake. You can be born as a hell realm. It doesn't matter. Why? Because the things you did from your gross mind creates actions for you to be reborn here and there. Therefore, even the gross mind affects where you will be reborn because you don't cut the habit. Therefore, it behooves us, it's very smart for us to do the meditation on awareness, especially in conjunction with the sadhana, example, Guru Yoga Lama Tsongkhapa, and the mantra practices, to recite Miktsama, to have the honor to sit at the center twice a week to recite Miktsama and to focus. That's what you can do. Awareness meditation, and you will see yourself improve. You think it's useless? You're silly. I only like Dharma talks. I don't like chanting. You don't know anything. That's why you say that. You don't know anything. You don't know the benefits. And so therefore, subtle mind is the mind of who we really are. From that mind arises the gross mind, which uses the gross faculties of the body in every life. So if you're born as a dog, your gross faculties will be less. You'll be less aware. You'll do less things. You're able to comprehend less. Why? Because the gross capacity, the gross body, gross, is much less to accommodate. Therefore, a person can be a dog in their previous life. In this life, they can be a professor. The faculties are different. And where you collect your faculties, your body, where is dependent on the karma you create. So if we waste our whole life on eating, sleeping, winning, being right, non-discipline, money, miserliness, if we spend our whole life on that, the actions that we accrue and we get will result in the same results that you've been, exactly how you've acted. And therefore, people who have taken refuge and know the result of cause and effect, you know what they do? They don't focus on all these small things. These small things they give away, they give this, they help. Very easy. Why? They don't waste time on things that don't bring them benefit, long and short term. But they do things that affect their subtle mind. So therefore, when we do practices such as the water offerings, tanka, setting up altar, the 6 preliminary practices, when we do these things, we affect the subtle mind. We collect merit. How? We collect merit so that when we do positive spiritual practices, we don't get distracted. It's easy, it's more smooth, it's more quick. Then when we do positive spiritual practices, we affect the subtle mind to make it closer to a Buddha mind. And so when you die, when you take rebirth again, that subtle mind will manifest in a new body. Again, it will manifest in a gross. And then that gross mind will manifest in gross actions. And it doesn't matter whether your actions looks good or bad. Because if your subtle mind has a positive motivation, even your actions look bad to conventional people, it will bring you good merits. And people don't understand that. People have an idea, lamas or rinpoches or whatever should act this way or talk this way or be this way or be that way. That is your convention. That is your mind that is limited. That you limit what a mind that is more developed can and cannot do. So then you have doubt. You cannot gain faith. Why? You cannot gain faith not because your guru is wrong or right, because your view is narrow due to lack of knowledge. So what you can and cannot do is your own convention. Your own convention. Example, in India, if you step on someone's feet, it's very bad. It's an insult. They can really fight you. But in America, you step on people's feet, sorry. That's cultural. Similarly, we're not concerned about the gross mind, we're concerned about the subtle mind. All practices of Dharma is to lead us to that mind. And how do we get led to that mind? A, listening and contemplation. B, the collection of vast merits to support the practice. C, effort, effort, effort. A person who's not very good in spiritual practices usually in worldly life is not very good either. Why? Effort's effort. Effort is effort. The minute a person says, I can't, and it goes on for years and years and years, it's not that they can't. No compassion, no realization, no understanding, no effort.